Hi, welcome to postbidbuy.com. This is a first in a series of videos that is going to show you how to get around in the system and use the system. The very first thing we're going to do today is we're going to register for a new account, and you do that by choosing this blue register button in the upper right hand corner and clicking on it. And once you do, it will take you to the first of 3 registration pages. The very first thing you do is put in your date of birth. And the reason why we do this is we have a basic requirement that says you must be 18 years old to use this system. So we require your actual date of birth. Once you do that, please review the terms of the system so that you can see how it works and what the expectations are, as well as the requirements for both buyers and sellers. Once you have done that, click on the checkbox next to I have read and agree to abide by the terms and agreements above. And then once you do that, press the continue button. This will take you to the second screen, and this is where you type in the information that begins to control your account. And the username is the name that will show up once you initiate bids. And this should be a unique name that doesn't necessarily identify you to the rest of the world. And in this case, we're going to use Fred the buyer for the username. The password we'll put in right here, and we'll put it in again to ensure that we get it right. Now, this is a good time to let you know that in this system, if you successfully place bids for landscape materials, you will eventually use this system to pay the supplier. And that means that money will change hands inside of this system. And for that reason, you want to choose a very secure password. We usually recommend a 22-character upper lowercase alphanumeric password that you can put in here and remember time and time again. One of the great ways to make sure that you do this is to look for a program called a password manager. And if you go to a search engine and type in password managers, you will see a list of them come down that you can then look at and download and use. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. I personally have used a free password manager for years now and have had no problem with it at all. And it is capable of remembering all my passwords for all the different sites I visited. And that is a very big helper here when you start to develop accounts at many different sites. The next thing you'll do is type in your email address, and Fred's email address is fredthebuyer@gmail.com. You can use whatever mail account you have set up. And then once you enter it once, enter it again to make sure that you got it right. And you can see I didn't. Okay. Once we do that, we can move to the next area, and this is a security question, and it is any question that you want to dream up that you have the answers for, that you can remember the answer should you need to supply it. The reason why this is here is if you lose your password, the system has a mechanism where it can send your password to your established email address. But in order for it to do that, you have to prove ownership of this account. And one of the ways you do it is through this question. So I'm going to put in, what is the name of my dog? And I'm actually going to spell everything correctly here. And for the answer, I'm going to type in Spot. Once you do that, you can proceed to the security verification, and all that is just put in this number here, and this pretty much shows us that you are not a machine, and we can get started here. I think I did that right. Once you put in the security verification, go ahead and press the continue button. Okay, that will take you to the third screen, and this is where you actually put in your actual information so that we can address you by your name and send emails to the right place with your right name on it and contact you if the need arises. So we're going to go ahead and put in Fred's information. His last name is Buyer. His address is 123 Main Street. He doesn't have a company, so we're not going to put that in. The currency is US dollars. The time zone is American Denver. Fred lives in Denver. Fred's phone number goes right here. Obviously, you would put in your own phone number. The country is the United States. The state is Colorado. The city is the city you live in this case it's Denver. And the zip code is 80221. Once you populate everything here that's necessary, address 2 is not necessarily is not needed, and company name is also not needed. You can put it in if you want to. Then press the continue button. The final screen shows you the default plan here, and this is the only plan there is for a buyer. So once you hit this screen, all you have to do is click the finish button. Now, once you hit the finish button, you'll be taken to a screen that says registration almost complete. Thank you for registering. An email verification is sent to your inbox, and once you get that email, open it up and you'll see a link on it that you can click on, and that will complete the registration request. This is important because we must verify that your email address is correct. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so now that we have completed the registration process, we just turn our attention to our inbox, and you'll see that the system has sent you an email, and it's from PostBidBuy, and it has a subject line before we can activate your account. So go ahead and click on this email, and then once you do, it will show you the body of the email, and it says, "Dear Fred Buyer, before we can activate your account on PostBidBuy, there's one last verification step that must be taken below. To complete the registration verification, please click on this URL." And when you do click on that, it'll take you back to the system, and you can see registration complete. Thank you for registering, and now you can begin to use the system. Notice that the register button has now become an account button, and when you press that account button, you'll be taken into the account manager, and this will show you all the different options there are for controlling this account. And that concludes the first video on how to register an account as a buyer. Thank you.